10 Xbox games are shutting down their servers in March of 2024. It's a busy month for server closures. Now and again throughout the year, the servers for various Xbox games end up being shut down for different reasons, whether that's simply because they're old titles now, or perhaps they haven't performed as well as expected. We've seen a few Xbox servers being shut down already in 2024, but March is looking particularly busy for these closures with games from EA, Ubisoft, and From Software all being affected. We highlighted these late last year, but they were announced in stages, so we thought we'd bring them all back together ahead of the new month. Here are the Xbox games that are shutting down their servers in March so far. Armored Core on March 30, Armored Core Verdict Day on March 31st. Dark Souls 2 for Xbox 360 on March 31st. F1 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and F1 Race Stars on March 21st. Micro Machines World Series on March 21st. Rocket Arena on March 21st. And The Crew on March 31st. The big highlight here for many is probably The Crew, which is unfortunately an online-only game, meaning it'll be totally inaccessible after March 31st. EA's Rocket Arena will also become completely unplayable 10 days earlier. We'll have more Xbox server shutdowns later this year too, with the biggest loss being the Xbox 360 store closure in July. It shouldn't affect anything in terms of backwards compatibility, but lots of 360 only games will be delisted forever. We do have comments. Rusty Duck goes games as a service. Guy in PA75 goes after buying or putting money into game as service, then never being able to play it again. All digital is a great thing, right? Nope. Granted example is a game as service, but take a good look at it not being able to access something after paying for it. Physical media is the best and only way to go. This will not happen to you. Grizzly Stuff says in response to that guy, if it's actually the full playable game on the physical disc cartridge, then yes, it's definitely the best way to go. But in reality, a ton of physical media is just wasted resources for something that you're going to have to download digitally anyways, because it's not actually on the disc or cartridge. I expect limited run physical copies will be a niche market for collectors, and that's all. Not sure how you could stop that change from happening, as the average consumer doesn't care about having a physical copy, so neither do the publishers. Doctor Games 101, this was actually your article, so um, I want you to express your opinions first.
Yeah, sure. Now I will admit this: I'm not a big fan of any most of these games that we mentioned are going to be away after March 31st and all. Specifically, with one of them, I could have played more of called The Crew, though, because obviously that's like on the Xbox 360 most likely, as well as the Xbox One versions of itself too. So I got The Crew 8, I think it is, and the regular The Crew. Um, so it's like you want to make time for these games, but at the same time you got other games to choose from the Xbox Game Pass library and all. My point is, I guess you say, is that it's like these are games that are not going to be as important to most people as we progress in time. This is my opinion, of course, obviously, because obviously the one that stays out the most is Armored Core and The Crew. Because this is my opinion as well too in those two games. Because and Dark Souls 2, yeah, but I mean, people are going to buy the remastered versions of those, the 3 disc version, which I got for about $75 for the Dark Souls trilogy, because it was Dark Souls remastered, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and I think Demon Souls was a part of this of the package as well. I doubt it though. It says somewhere in my apartment that I got the game of Dark Souls trilogy. So, but yeah, it sucks though. After a while, all these live related service games, we'll call them, they're going to be expired after a few months to a couple of years, and that's it. It's over. And it's funny that these games will go back for the 10 years ago, some of these games, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's like live service games back then were not called live service games. It was just basically like, DLC and other multiplayer type of games to play with others online with limited service, a limited time. So, but now with the games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, now it's fully online. Everything's online. You have no disc version. You'll have no full game or base game to play it on while the servers will shut down. Because at least I can still play The Crew and Armored Core Verdict Day on discs though. And there's even games like what's the other game called? Dra- Dragon's Dogma, if I pronounce it properly. That game is coming out. The second sequel is coming out already. The second game is coming out sometime next month or two, if I remember correctly. So I heard that game is going to be like they have like DLC and stuff like that, or even well, actually more like it, more relevant is Monster Hunter. The newest Monster Hunter, but this supposed to come out this year. That's going to be live service most likely as well too, along with Monster Hunter World. So it's but you still get the base game of the game too, still. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Honestly, it's another reason to go back to retro. Um,
yeah,
you know, get PS2, get PS3 and 360 if it's not an online required game. There's plenty of games you can get for PS3 and Xbox 360 and the Wii that don't require you to be online. Um, or just go further back in time: PS2, GameCube, original Xbox, PS1, Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, etc., etc. Um, because you buy these games or you pay to download them, and then you can only play them for so long, and then up, we're shutting off the servers.
yeah.
Sucks to
Screw
be
you.
you.
Yeah, screw you. Buy more.
Yeah, yeah. Please buy our next game. We promise to keep it online for a certain amount of time. So yeah, so I mean, again, I didn't want. That's why I didn't really want to go first because I'm just gonna sound like a broken record. But
Save you with me.
it's the same thing. It's another reason I went back to retro. Why I'm gonna go for PS2. Not so much PS3 anymore. At least until my PS3 starts. My PS3 sound is not working. I don't know if the AV cords just got knocked loose, but the system still recognized them, or if it's just defective AV cords, or what.
Hmm.
Um, and like I said, my Xbox 360 is completely dead. I still have to throw it out. Um, but like I said, I'm going back PS2, PS1 because all PS1 games are compatible on PS2. I have my PS1 memory card, so I can play that. I got the original Xbox. I got a Wii U, which plays all Wii games. Um, and like I said, I'm even going to go back to further back, to Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, Sega CDs, Super Nintendo. So
And I bet if you save more money, or at least invest more better equipment, you get an Elgato capture card, or any capture card that's of high quality, and record games on a computer and put on YouTube for others to see, or through a live
I don't,
stream.
I don't have any problem recording games on computer. But if I was gonna get a capture card, I would. Uh, Actually, I wouldn't do it. If I, the only reason I would get a capture card is if I was still playing games like on Xbox One, say like Game Pass,
Hmm.
and like if I had to stream a game through the cloud to just play it, then it would be worth getting. Then it would be worth getting a capture card for me. But since I don't plan on renewing Game Pass or Game Pass Core even, um, it's not really something I need because Xbox One from can stream from my laptop to where I choose to record the gameplay or stream it to Twitch automatically. So
And now there's also Twitch on the Xbox as well, where you can record directly from there too.
exactly, yeah. Sometimes I don't. If I want, I don't even have to launch my computer. I just put on the headset, connect it to my controller, and launch Twitch through the Xbox One menu, and and then play whatever I'm playing on Xbox One. Um, Yeah, so I mean, like I said, these online games, it sucks when they shut down the servers,
Hmm.
and it's like, are these servers? It's like, are people not playing these games? That'd be one thing, but it seems like so many servers are being shut down all at once. It's you know, and it just sucks. Like when you're like, well, I had fun playing that game. I can't play it anymore, even though I spent money on it.
And you get no refunds at the same time.
Right.
Always a partial refund.
Yeah, at least yeah, or like even a game credit like in the digital marketplace. I mean,
But you know what's interesting about these type of trends going on, or these shifts in our economy systems altogether. Games like what's it, the Xbox original games before they got shut down, and Microsoft gave each and every gamer like a partial refund or some credits added to their Microsoft points, whatever, as well as a free Xbox gold membership, I think it was too, if I recall correctly. Remember
Okay.
those times? Yeah, it was decades ago, like a decade and a half ago. This happened back in 2010, where like 3 months or 2 months prior to the shutdown, they said they give you like several Microsoft points and gold membership. I think it was, if I recall correctly. Definitely the Microsoft points are going to give you, but yeah, they tell you ahead of time, like back up your data or record as much as you can, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. So,
Or go retro.
hmm and you can still record on the retro consoles too. That's what
Yeah.
if you have proper
They're actually much easier to
wireless.
record. All
Yeah,
my
wait.
retro consoles, even the Nintendo, uses AV cords,
Yeah.
and my capture device also uses AV cords. So all I have to do is take that capture device and plug it into my USB drive, and boom, any game I'm
Indeed.
playing, I can have right on OBS, and then from there I can record or stream it.
Oh yeah.